Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise in support of the measure, which is the 2017-2018 budget, as presented by the Minister of Finance, Honourable Prime Minister, last Thursday. And, Madam Speaker, based on what has transpired here during the course of the last few days, it makes my job very easy just to say I support the budget and to sit down, Madam Speaker. Because I believe, Madam Speaker, that we on the government side have truly represented the aspirations of the people of Dominica, Madam Speaker. But, Madam Speaker, I think it would be remiss of me not to just raise a few points and a few concerns, Madam Speaker, coming out of the budget, and just to give some brief responses to some comments made by the members of the opposition side. Madam Speaker, I'm not sure if you noticed that there is a nice camaraderie in the Parliament, Madam Speaker. It has been since after lunch. Madam Speaker, you know that me and the members from Salisbury, we vex with one another, Madam Speaker. We're not talking for almost a year, Madam Speaker. We're not talking. Well, I vex with you, or you vex with me, but we vex, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, when I met the gentleman in the cafeteria, I almost thought he was going to offer me a cup of coffee, Madam Speaker. That is to show you how relaxed and how comfortable he was in my presence. And so, Madam Speaker, it makes me wonder, why is it that sometimes the members of the opposition get so agitated, get so frightened, get so anxious, Madam Speaker? And it seems to me, Madam Speaker, that every time the leader of the opposition is outside of the Parliament, the members of the opposition are very happy and friendly and warm, Madam Speaker. But once the gentleman is in the Parliament, Madam Speaker, the mood just changes. And, Madam Speaker, that says something, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, that is why I was a little taken aback when the member for Salisbury, Hector John, was asked to say to you that he thinks that the Prime Minister is disrespectful, that every time he gets up to speak, the Prime Minister walks out, Madam Speaker. And that's surprising, Madam Speaker. Disrespectful? Lennox Linton, member for Marigot? Madam Speaker, I cannot make the connection. This gentleman, Madam Speaker, has disrespected almost everybody in this country, Madam Speaker. From babies to young people, to the bishop, to the president, and he takes offense when he believes in his mind that he's been disrespectful. Madam Speaker, it's not the same gentleman who insulted the young people of this country for no apparent reason, Madam Speaker, by just going to the Prime Minister's office to seek some assistance and to seek some help, and he calls them what, Madam Speaker? Madam Speaker, is that the same gentleman who is now in court for calling members of the Dominican Labour Party, ministers and members of cabinet a particular name, Madam? I know, Madam Matter, I'm not going to mention
End it right there, please.
Let it right there, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, is this the same gentleman who called the elderly people of this country greedy, Madam Speaker? That he takes offense and feels disrespected because we didn't sit down, or he thinks that the Prime Minister walks out every time he gets up to speak? But what did he say, Madam Speaker? What was there to listen to, Madam Speaker? What was he saying, Madam Speaker? Madam Speaker, I also get the sense that when the member for Marigot is out of the Parliament, the members of the opposition get an opportunity to free up themselves and to speak their mind, Madam Speaker. Because while the leader of the opposition said nothing in relation to the budget, half of the members on the opposition side supported the measures in the budget, Madam Speaker. The senator, Madam Speaker, you thought he was a member on the government side. Madam Speaker, you expect men to throw their little political jabs and so on, because men have people listening to them. Men want to feel their supporters or they want to hear them. But by and large, Madam Speaker, they support the budget. And that's why I'm wondering, and the member for Roseau Central, he was emphatic, Madam Speaker. He made no bones or no about he supporting the measures in the budget, Madam Speaker. And I noticed that's the second time he's deviating from the line prescribed to him by the leader of the opposition, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you remember the opening of the bridge, Madam Speaker? Remember the opening of the bridge, Madam Speaker? When the plan was that they would not attend, Madam Speaker. The member from Roseau Central was on radio on the Friday morning saying how shameful this bridge was, and he was not going to attend and calling on Dominicans not to attend the opening of the bridge, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, when I went there, it was about, the thing was at 3 o'clock. 2:45, I say, well, the plan working? No, Isaac. 10 to 3, no, Isaac. 5 to 3, no, Isaac. And Speaker, 2 minutes to 3, I see a man running out in a black jacket, Madam Speaker. Wiping his face, Madam Speaker, running out, jamming, Madam Speaker, to get on there for the opening of the bridge, Madam Speaker. And, Madam Speaker, for some time after that, we never saw them, we never heard about them, we never heard them, Madam Speaker. Today, Madam Speaker, it appears to me that the intention was for the opposition not to speak anything positive about the budget, Madam Speaker. And yet still, Madam Speaker, you had the member for Roseau Central being the biggest supporter, really, of the measures in the budget, Madam Speaker. And that says something, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we're on this side of the other thing. You can feel the unity among us. You can see that we were prepared to defend the budget, Madam Speaker. You can see that we were part and parcel of the process, Madam Speaker. You can see us supporting other ministries. Sometimes when you heard Dr. McIntyre, you thought he was the Minister of Agriculture. And the member for Castle, thank him for support. Madam, you could see a unity in the government, Madam Speaker, as far as management of the affairs of the country is concerned. But, Madam, you cannot say that for the opposition. And Madam Speaker, it tells us that if the members of the opposition cannot show some unity in the parliament, where the whole world is watching, where the people of Dominica are listening, Madam Speaker, you can imagine what's happening when they meet in their executive meetings and at the caucus level, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you can see the member for Roseau South, he was there, and the member for Margaret never looked in his direction. Never looked in the gentleman's direction, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I make this point to say that if we have these men, Madam Speaker, who intend to replace this government, cannot agree on a budget, Madam Speaker, that means and holds so much for the people of Dominica, then on what can they agree, Madam Speaker? And to put the country in the hands of this gentleman, with the amount of money that this government has been able to raise and put in the treasury, Madam Speaker, you can imagine what will happen, Madam Speaker? No, Madam Speaker. Many have problems, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we need to be careful, Madam Speaker. Because you see, Madam Speaker, we have arrived here, Madam Speaker, and I speak on this budget with a feeling of joy and happiness, Madam Speaker. Because, Madam Speaker, I've been here from 2000. And I know the struggle that we had to go through from 2000 to get to the point where we are here today, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we got to this parliament at a time when we were visited by Hurricane UWP, Madam Speaker. And that hurricane lasted 5 years, Madam Speaker, from 1995 to 2000, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I hear them there, Madam Speaker, quoting the IMF extensively, Madam Speaker. Extensively, what the IMF said and what the IMF didn't say. Madam Speaker, when the IMF spoke to them in 1998, 1999, they didn't listen to the IMF, Madam Speaker. When the IMF told them that the pursuit of the international airport and the stadium would have created an albatross around the necks of the people of Dominica, they didn't listen to the IMF then, Madam Speaker. And interestingly, Madam Speaker, one of the architects of the IMF recommendation was the economic guru on that side, Thompson Fountain, Madam Speaker. That is a gentleman, Madam Speaker, who came back and told the people of Dominica that he was retiring in his comfortable life in the United States to come down here to serve his people and to serve his country, Madam Speaker, Today we're debating a historic budget, Madam Speaker. The largest budget since independence and maybe since the history of this country, Madam Speaker. And you didn't apologize for him not being here, Madam Speaker. You didn't read any excuse at the beginning of the session. You gave excuses for Ivor Stevenson and for somebody else I can remember. But nothing was said, Madam Speaker, about the member for the senator, Madam Speaker, Thompson Fontaine, Madam Speaker. That is the loyalty, Madam Speaker. That is the commitment that these gentlemen on the opposition have for the development and for the well-being of the people of Dominica, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, they make reference to 7 years, Madam, 17 years to take us to that point, Madam Speaker. And they're correct, Madam Speaker. It takes us 17 years to get to that point. What they need to tell us, Madam Speaker, that the first 5 years, Madam Speaker, we spent it correcting the wrongs that they had to do to this economy, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, for the first 5 years, Madam Speaker, when we got in, Madam Speaker, we made $35 million worth of unpaid checks in the Treasury, Madam Speaker. That is the reality. That is what we met in 2000, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we met $35 million being owed to the Dominica Social Security as contributions that was deducted from public officers' salaries and not paid to the Social Security, Madam Speaker. That is what we were doing for the first part of the 17 years that we spent in government, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we met a bank overdraft of $87 million, Madam Speaker, $27 million over the legal and approved limit, Madam Speaker. That is what we met in 2000. Madam Speaker, we met a consolidated fund deficit of $27 million, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we met $9 million worth of LPOs owed to the local merchants, Madam Speaker. That is what we met, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we couldn't pay salaries. We couldn't pay salaries, Madam Speaker. $50 million owed to regional and international institutions, Madam Speaker. That was the state of affairs when the Dominica Labour Party took over the reins of this country, Madam Speaker. And we were forced, Madam Speaker, into a program to reconstruct completely the economy of this country, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we lost 2 prime ministers in that effort to reconstruct the economy of Dominica, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we had to inflict pain on the poor people of this country, Madam Speaker. They were called upon to make sacrifice upon sacrifice. Madam Speaker, we imposed a tax on bicycle here in this parliament, Madam Speaker, in an effort to fix the situation existing in the country, Madam Speaker. And they tell us about, it took us 17 years, Madam Speaker. 17 years, Madam Speaker. But for the first 5 years out of the 17 was to correct the evil and the wrong, Madam Speaker, that was brought upon this country by the United Workers' Party, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, another important juncture in our 17-year governance of this country is Tropical Storm Erica. And you can close your eyes to Tropical Storm Erica. You don't have to record. It never happened, Madam Speaker. And when they were called upon, and they're talking about bipartisan, when they were called upon to assist, not the government, to assist the people of Dominica in recovering from Tropical Storm Erica, Madam Speaker, given blank checks by the Prime Minister to go to their constituencies and help in the resettlement effort, Madam, in the restructuring effort, Madam Speaker, they walked away from it and turned their backs on the people of Dominica, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, that is the sad part. That is the sad part. Because the United Workers' Party, Madam Speaker, from 2000 has tried everything to derail the economic progress of this government and of this country, Madam Speaker. Fighting the government, Madam Speaker. In the austerity days, you remember the number of demonstrations, Madam Speaker. You remember the number of demonstrations they had over the austerity measures that was imposed by the government, Madam Speaker. In more recent times, Madam Speaker, in more recent times, you see the attack on a revenue source that this government had creatively carved out for itself and for the country, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you saw the attack on the economy by the leader of the opposition, the member for Marigot, on his CBS January 1st program, Madam Speaker. A war against the people of Dominica, a war against the economy of Dominica, Madam Speaker. That is what saddens me, Madam Speaker. At a time when we should all join forces for the sake of the people of Dominica, Madam Speaker, the United Workers' Party opposition sought to derail the program, Madam Speaker, to black-eye the country, and not a black-eye, Madam, black-face the country, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it's okay if you have one black eye. Madam Speaker, it's okay if your nose bleeding, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, if you have a piece of ears, it's okay, it's fine. But Madam, if you bust your lip, it's all right, Madam Speaker. But to mash up your whole face, Madam Speaker, that cannot be right, Madam Speaker. And that is what the United Workers' Party opposition, they've sought to do, and they continue to do, Madam Speaker. And when they believed that wasn't going anywhere, Madam Speaker, they decided they're going to burn down the capital city of Roseau, Madam Speaker.
Member, please. Okay?
Madam Speaker, the supporter...
Please, no, withdraw that.
I withdraw that, Madam Speaker.
Okay.
Madam Speaker, we also heard, Madam Speaker, they went to Salisbury, Madam Speaker. And I have to tell the member for Salisbury, no, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, he comes here. Madam Speaker, you see, when you represent people, Madam Speaker, when you represent people, you are a counselor, you are a father, you are the doctor sometimes, Madam Speaker, you're the taxi, you everything, Madam Speaker. And they treat you with a certain level of confidence, Madam Speaker. They expect you to hold their business, Madam Speaker, and to keep their business private. The gentleman comes to the Parliament, Madam Speaker, and he says he met a lady from Salisbury on Coolibee Street, and she said she wants to see me because her house, hurricane took her. Madam Speaker, the lady spoke to her in confidence. So you come to me as the minister, yes. And you say, well, Mr. Minister, because you're not sure whether I'm not sure whether she blue, she red, or she green. And maybe she don't want people to know she wants to see me, Madam Speaker. Because you know them workers, people out there be ready, Madam Speaker. While they're playing, they vex you in the day, in the night, they're creeping behind you and talking secret to you in the night for people not to know you, know, Madam Speaker. Because when he wanted his support, Madam Speaker, while people go home, Madam Speaker, after 4 o'clock, he found where the Prime Minister's office was to ask for his medical support for his medical education, Madam Speaker. They come to you in all forms, Madam. They dress in red. They do all sorts of things, Madam Speaker, to come for the same support they call our people prostitutes about coming for in the Prime Minister's office, Madam Speaker. So you don't know if the lady wanted a private discussion, Madam Speaker. You come here in the Parliament and tell me, oh, and you call the lady them to, you know, oh, so-and-so say they want to see you because you don't do this, Madam Speaker. You call the minister aside. He say, Reggie boy, you know, well, he wasn't calling me Reggie. No, he called me Reggie, Madam Speaker. Because remember, we vex. He's supposed to be vexed, Madam Speaker. But, well, look, he changed now. Look, the fella come back. So things matter. Oh, Lord. Minister, the member for Marigot is back. Leader of the opposition is back. So that camaraderie we had, that gone. No more camaraderie for the rest of the night, Madam Speaker, because the member for Marigot is back, Madam Speaker. Yeah. The member for Marigot is back, Madam Speaker. So,
point of order, Madam Speaker.
What is your point of order?
Madam Speaker, I'm getting to something for you.
Anyway, loud.
44-6.
Standing order 44. Yes,
No
tell me what standing order 44-6.
Okay.
It says something, I know, but what is that something?
Yeah, can I read? No member shall impute improper motives to any member.
What improper motive? I didn't hear any improper motive.
The member is saying to this House, or suggesting to the nation, that as a result of my entrance into the Parliament chamber...
That's not what it is about at all. Please take your seat. That's not improper motive. Come on. No. You haven't understood what this improper motive is at all.
What do you mean I haven't understood what's improper motive?
I'm telling you, you haven't understood.
You understood? I've listened to you for years.
Please take your seat.
I've listened to you for years.
Please take your seat. That's it. That's it. That's it. I knew the party would end. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Because it's very clear. There's no improper motive there. It's a very proper motive.
I tell you to mash up. I tell you to mash up, Madam Speaker.
No nonsense. No nonsense.
Madam Speaker. But it's okay, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker. Oh, Lord, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, oh, Lord, oh, Lord. Shall I continue? Yeah, I'll try, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, that is where we are. That is where we are. And if you didn't exercise some patience, there would be a problem here tonight, You see, you exercise your patience, Madam Speaker. And I really hope, Madam Speaker, we can do it. Don't ignore, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the leader of the opposition presented a document, which I am convinced, Madam Speaker, that the gentleman did not read the document. He's a bright fellow, Madam Speaker. Because what was in that document was what he says every day, everywhere he goes, Madam Speaker. I heard it in Roseau on the night of February 7th. I heard it outside of the Parliament. I heard it in Salisbury. I heard it in the Arab House of Culture, Madam Speaker. What the member from Marigot not realized, Madam Speaker, that all the issues raised in, I'm not sure if it's a rebuttal, it's a response to the budget, Madam Speaker, was things that have been ventilated in the public. The Dominican public have voted and decided on those issues, Madam Speaker. Because, Madam Speaker, we've gone to 2 elections with those same issues that were raised in the Parliament last Friday. Those same issues have been raised in the politics, Madam Speaker, and the people of Dominica still voted for the Dominica Labour Party. But, Madam Speaker, he either didn't read it, and if he read it, it's impossible, Madam Speaker, he could not have understood what he read, Madam Speaker. Because, Madam Speaker, let's take a couple of the issues at random, Madam Speaker. And let's deal, Madam Speaker, with the issue of the suspension of the geothermal project, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you don't have to go to high school, Madam Speaker. I mean, you don't have to go to high school for you to know, Madam Speaker, that when the foreign agency give you a project, Madam Speaker, they give it to you because they're satisfied that the project is viable and bankable, Madam Speaker. And the member said is a promotion, is a PR. Madam Speaker, the World Bank using $15, $16, $17 million to do PR in Dominica, Madam Speaker. And the British government, Madam Speaker, will give you $5 million to do PR. Pounds. And the government of New Zealand would give you all $20 million worth of technical support to do PR, Madam Speaker. No, Madam Speaker, it doesn't make sense to me. And if, Madam Speaker, with his limited knowledge, if the member from Marigot had read that, he would never come here and repeat that in this Parliament, Madam Speaker, because it doesn't make sense and it cannot work, Madam Speaker. And, Madam Speaker, what's the alternative, Madam Speaker? Solar. Using the same money now, Madam Speaker. It doesn't happen. Madam Speaker, you have to tell people, thank you. I don't need your money anymore, and I would like to negotiate with you to spend the money somewhere else or in another project. That's how it's done, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, you have to go through the process again, all through the whole cycle, 4, 5, 6 years. Madam Speaker, this geothermal project didn't just happen overnight, Madam Speaker. To say it's an egg, and you sit on it for 21 days. It's not an egg. It's not a moose, Madam Speaker. You put under your arm, Madam Speaker. 21 days you're walking up and down with an egg under your arm. Huh? And when you lift up your arm, money just coming out and money just falling out. So the egg hatch. That's not how it's done, Madam Speaker. That's not how it's done, Madam Speaker. Once you have to negotiate and you have to convince them that that project is viable and bankable, and then they will start to talk to you, Madam Speaker. That's how it's done. And Madam Speaker, he says, Madam Speaker, you know how much land, solar power, solar energy, Madam Speaker, and they say you will put the panels on every house in Roseau, Madam Speaker, to generate enough electricity to run the grid, to replace diesel, Madam Speaker. So why you put the battery now? So, okay, so let's say, Mr. Thomas, you can put the solar panels on the buildings. Where are you going to put the battery? Under the building then? Madam Speaker, you have to study energy, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I've been advised, Madam Speaker, that you need almost 40 acres of land to generate 10 megawatts of electricity, Madam Speaker. 40 acres of land, Madam Speaker. Huh? Flat land, Madam Speaker. So how it going to happen, Madam Speaker? Madam Speaker, here we have a report from the Inter-American Agency for Cooperation Development, Madam Speaker, a December 10, 2005 report, Madam Speaker, and I'm not going to read the whole report, Madam Speaker. But what it says to us, Madam Speaker, is that the areas identified for possible wind farms is on the East Coast, Madam Speaker, on the East Coast. A matter like sun. You don't know when sun going to fall and rain going to fall, Madam Speaker. So, solar energy, Madam, you get rain for 10 days. How long the batteries can store the energy for, Madam Speaker? You have to have redundancy. And Madam Speaker, the report tells us, Madam Speaker, that in the East, Madam Speaker, and this study has been done, Madam Speaker, this study has been done. And I can tell you, Madam Speaker, some of the list, well, persons that were interviewed, 10 persons were interviewed. Number 10 is Dr. Lenzoni Church. Number 1 is Mr. Bevin Etienne. I'm not going to go, and well, I'm that number 5, because I was Minister of Energy at the time, Madam Speaker. I don't know Joel Hoggins, and Mr. Thomas Etienne, and Dr. J.A. Badwi. Madam Speaker, High Paul Brown, high powered people, Madam Speaker, were part of this study on our wind energy. And Madam Speaker, the report tells us that because of the sultry nature of the Dominican air, Madam Speaker, the wind turbines would not last. And so you had to incur additional cost, a lot of money, Madam Speaker, to get stainless steel, Madam Speaker, which was prohibitive for wind energy. Madam Speaker, wind farms are ugly. Have you seen these things, Madam Speaker, in the nature island? Madam Speaker, it might be necessary, but is it desirable? You really want to see 40 acres of Dominica and these windmills and these wind farms, Madam Speaker? No, Madam Speaker. So the study, Madam Speaker, has ruled out, you can have your one little windmill and so on in your house and so on. That's fine, Madam Speaker. But to generate 7 to 10 megawatts, Madam Speaker, of wind, it doesn't make sense. Madam Speaker, on the issue of hydro, Madam Speaker, you have a report, Madam Speaker, on hydro, Madam Speaker, a report on the hydroelectric development in Dominica, north of Scotland hydroelectric, whatever, a 1975 report, Madam Speaker. And that report is saying to us that of the 5 rivers, Madam Speaker, the Lai River, the Boer River, the Makushri River, the White River, were studied, Madam Speaker. And the report is saying that the high level of rainfall and the steep gradient have resulted in massive erosion, with most rivers flowing in deeply incised valleys and carrying a heavy gravel and silt load. During floods, Madam Speaker, boulders weighing several tons may be carried considerable distance downstream, Madam Speaker. That is the report, Madam Speaker, and it says further that the geology of the island makes foundation conditions for a high dam very dubious. Problems which might be encountered with subterranean flow could prove to be very expensive and either high dammed or tunnels, Madam Speaker. That is the report on hydro, Madam Speaker. And it says, Madam Speaker, further, the construction of access road is very difficult in the mountainous part of Dominica, and the difficulty reaches the proportion of impracticality in many places where access to river is required, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, here it is, Madam Speaker, that having gone through all these studies and all these reports, and Madam Speaker, our partners, we have presented a case for geothermal energy, Madam Speaker. And all the international partners have agreed with us that geothermal energy is a possible option, Madam Speaker. The leader of the opposition says that after all the money that we've spent, after all the pledges that have been made to us, he will scrap the project. And what do you mean suspend it? So you will start it after then, Madam Speaker. Suspend is to reinstate. When prices go up, when everything becomes 3 times more expensive, you're going to redo it, Madam Speaker. if you stop anything, say you're going to stop the thing, Madam Speaker. No, suspend it. It's like when you hit somebody in school and they send you home then, and they suspend you then, Madam Speaker. Madam, when you fight in school, they suspend you, your mother come, your father come, you talk, and they might decide whether they want to take you back or there's expulsion. Or you might voluntarily decide you leaving, you're not coming back in this thing, Madam Speaker. That's what suspension means to me. But you cannot have that. So when you suspend it, you're going back to them 3 years later and tell them you come back for the money they had offered you before? That's how it happens? No, Madam Speaker, you missed that boat, Madam Speaker. You missed that boat. So, Madam Speaker, that's what I'm saying. That the member for Marigot either didn't read what he was saying or he did not understand what he was trying to say, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, let's pull out another thing from the bag, Madam Speaker. I told the budget passed already, so, you know. Madam Speaker, on the issue of the international airport, Madam Speaker, and the senator from Castle Bruce, Madam Speaker, he was part of the consult. You know, Madam Speaker, they claim that they are all consultants on that side. I don't know what test you have to write to when you become a consultant. Well, if consultant, Madam, all of us are consultants on the government side. If it's so easy to be a consultant, we sat here for 17 years fixing an economy. Today we can come to Parliament and present an over $8 billion or million. $8 million worth, Madam Speaker. 800 million. That the opposition support, Madam Speaker. They agree that it's a good budget, Madam Speaker. If it's so easy to be a consultant, then all of us on the government side are consultants, Madam Speaker. So, Joseph Isaac, I'll check in a minute. Isaac Baptist, Madam Speaker, prized himself to be a consultant. And he was part of this standing and planning thing, Madam Speaker. And you know what it says, Madam Speaker? The Plan and Standing Site, Madam Speaker, Limited, the new airport master plan study undertaken by the UW administration in 1998, according to the review of the standing and planning, the site was deemed to be as follows. One, Madam Speaker, that's the site they chose was chosen because they were worried about the dislocation of human settlement within the Wesley and Woodford area. So because they had to move some people, they decided that site not good, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it states that the proposed runway orientation calls for a curved, non-precision approach for landing, which also classifies the airport as a visual airfield, Madam Speaker. It means, Madam Speaker, that you had to curve to land. So if there are any obstacles, Madam Speaker, it was a visual airport. You couldn't use instrument landing. You had to land by eyes, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it says further that the airfield cannot meet full instrumentation, Madam Speaker, or with the highest recommended procedure, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, it says the proposed airport meets conditional ICAO requirements, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, there are serious surface obstacles, infringement issues pertaining to the mountain at Mono Diab, Destiny, and Jablotin to a lesser extent, Madam Speaker. That's why it says the likely frequent closure of the airport for safety concerns due to inclement weather, heavy rainfall, and low cloud cover. That is the site that Isaac Baptist was a consultant on, Madam Speaker. Senator Isaac Baptist. Yes, sir. Madam Speaker, it says these surrounding terrain concerns will contribute to a displaced threshold, meaning a section of 10,000 feet runway would not be usable space. It says, Madam Speaker, the given limitation may require high-level negotiations with airlines operators in order to get included on their scheduled route, Madam Speaker. And they come to this Parliament and they say to us that the government not serious because they had the plan for the airport, they had all their land for the airport, and all they was going to do was to implement. Madam Speaker, had this thing gotten through, we would have had half an airport, Madam Speaker. After spending all that money, all you would get would be half an airport, Madam Speaker. And the member for Marigot says to us, he will build the airport in 5 years. All he wants in 7 years, all he wants is Mr. Scarrett must go and get the money for him, and he will build the airport, Madam Speaker. Lazy approach, Madam Speaker. Don't want to do no work as usual, Madam Speaker. The same money, Madam Speaker, that they condemn because where's he going to get the money for you? Where he getting the money all now, Madam Speaker? So he's giving the Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, a task to go and find the money and leave it there, and I will spend it, Madam Speaker. And that is why, Madam Speaker, in the proposals by none of the members of the opposition, there is not $1 figure attached to none of their proposals, Madam Speaker. Not $1 figure. Nothing for the high-speed ferry. All they say is we'll bring free high-speed ferry to Dominica, Madam Speaker. And then, why isn't the name of the bus station something, Madam Speaker? A transit station. A transit station, Madam Speaker. So, well, you see, man, they don't detail it. He might be making sense. But I don't know what he's saying, Madam Speaker, because to me, a public mass transit system looks like something that has to be undertaken by the government. So the government now has to go and buy buses now, Madam Speaker, and subsidize the price now. Because Babylon is what, $2? Jamaica is $1.50. Guyana is 20 cents, Madam Speaker. But Madam Speaker, that works in the situation where we have high population, and it works there. But a mass transit bus system cannot work here in Dominica, Madam Speaker. And on top of that, Madam Speaker, you're planning to displace all the bus drivers now, Madam Speaker. Yes. So we come here now talking about employment and to generate employment, and that is the plan of the United Workers' Party, to generate employment by putting the bus drivers out of business and getting involved in the transportation sector, Madam Speaker. That is the plan of the United Workers' Party, Madam Speaker, to fix this country. Madam Speaker, I listened to, I already said that the member for Roseau Central, Madam Speaker, the consultant, and he said he was an industrial engineer on top of it. Madam Speaker, this gentleman, between 2009 and 2013, this gentleman, Madam Speaker, got 2 lovely contracts from the European Union, Madam Speaker. One paying him 15,000 EC a month, twice times the salary of the Prime Minister. And the other one, Madam Speaker, paying him $12,000 a month, Madam Speaker. Yes. And they ran concurrently, Madam Speaker. So 15,000 a month and 12,000. And Madam Speaker, the terms of reference was to find and lock markets for agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, culture, to include the music industry, Madam Speaker. That is one. And under the business gateway, Madam Speaker, a 3-year contract, I think, Madam Speaker, to establish 20 new business and advance the export and expand 20 small businesses, Madam Speaker. That was handled by Dexter. That was the job. Paid 15 for one, 12 for one, Madam Speaker. And he comes here, Madam Speaker, brandishing 2 packaged products, Madam Speaker, which he was paid, Madam Speaker, to promote. He was paid, Madam Speaker, to do just that. Today, Madam Speaker, where is the lovely packaged products that he got paid handsomely for to develop, Madam Speaker? Over $500,000 he was paid, Madam Speaker. Over $500,000, Madam Speaker. Yes, 15 by 2 by 12, yes. And 12 by 2 by 3 by 12, yes, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this gentleman is in the manufacturing business himself. Small business. I know well, after we opened the bridge, he must have graduated from small to medium. Because the amount of bread and pizza that sell on that day, Madam Speaker, the amount of bread and pizza that sell for the opening of that bridge on May Day, Madam Speaker, he must have graduated, Madam Speaker. In fact, Madam Speaker, he had 2 branches. He had a branch in Portsmouth. He had a branch in Portsmouth. And with the rest of that history. Madam Speaker, that man is an expert in packaging and branding. I never see a plastic with bread mark Isaac's Bakery, Madam Speaker. I never see a bread that's saying Joseph's bread, Madam Speaker. I never see a package, Madam Speaker, saying $18 million bread, Madam Speaker. Because after this money he made for the $18 million bridge, nothing, Madam Speaker. The same white plastic, this tie with a little green thing around it. The same white plastic, Madam Speaker. No branding, no name, no packaging, Madam Speaker. And that is a man that was paid $500,000 to teach people how to package their products, Madam Speaker. To an extent, Madam Speaker, where the bakery in Portsmouth, it failed, Madam Speaker. It failed, Madam Speaker, because of the competition, Madam Speaker. He couldn't brand or rebrand his product, Madam Speaker, and they had to put all the equipment outside by St. John's School, on the sidewalk, on the side of the road, Madam Speaker. And then he comes here and wanting to lecture us about branding and what we're doing wrong and how he would do it. You couldn't do it for yourself, Madam Speaker. You can have two plastic in your hand, one green and one white, shaking, saying about that is how we must do things, Madam Speaker. And your own business suffering under the same things you are an expert to do, paid $500,000 to do it, Madam Speaker. No, man, Madam Speaker. It doesn't make sense, Madam Speaker. And that's what I'm saying to you, Madam Speaker. Had we, or are we to depend, Madam Speaker, on the member for Marigot and United Workers' Party, Madam Speaker, to assist the poor people of this country in their development, Madam Speaker, we would still be in 2005 and maybe 2004, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, getting to where we are today was not an accident, Madam Speaker. And we told the people of Dominica that we'll get you to that point. But we're not done, Madam Speaker. We cannot sit on our backsides, Madam Speaker, and wait on our laurels. We can't sit on our laurels, Madam Speaker.
Well, withdraw that one because that's unparliamentary.
Yeah, what laurels?
And no, the first one.
Oh, the first one. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Withdraw it.
But I don't, well, on parliament.
And then continue with the laurel story.
Yes. Madam Speaker, I withdraw that one, Madam Speaker. I don't think when God creation is about. But it's okay, Madam Speaker. It's okay. Madam Speaker, we have to continue the struggle. But it's going to take an effort of every single one of us, Madam Speaker. And the opposition needs to understand that they have to change their tactics and change their strategy, Madam Speaker, because that strategy has been tried, has been tested, and it has failed, Madam Speaker. It cannot work, Madam Speaker, because we on this side of the House have demonstrated to the people of Dominica that give us the opportunity and we'll make it happen, Madam Speaker. It's not easy, Madam Speaker. It's not easy, Madam Speaker. And, Madam Speaker, you know, the painful part was when the Minister of Foreign Affairs drew it to the attention of the Parliament that this gentleman had written to the American Embassy, Madam Speaker. Member Marigot, Madam Speaker, saying that you must now scrutinize every single Dominican that applied to go to the United States, Madam Speaker, because they're coming from a country that harbors terrorism, Madam Speaker. They're coming from a country where we're selling passports to terrorists, Madam Speaker, at a time when all young children looking for their student visa because the government has offered them scholarships to study in the United States, Madam Speaker. The government has offered them scholarships to go and study in the United States, Madam Speaker. And they now have to travel to Barbados to get their student visas, Madam Speaker. And you're putting them under the microscope, Madam Speaker. You're putting them under the microscope for the American authorities, Madam Speaker, to scrutinize them, to harass them, to hustle them, Madam Speaker, and to deny them an opportunity to go to school and study because you didn't go to school and study. Because you missed your opportunity to study, you want to deny the children of poor people in Dominica, Madam Speaker, to go and develop themselves and to get a decent education. Madam Speaker, it cannot be right. It cannot be fair, Madam Speaker, when you're making plans for yours to go. So poor people cannot go, but two of yours can go at the same time, Madam Speaker. No, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, that is treason, Madam Speaker. Let's put it that way, Madam Speaker. Treason and terrorism, Madam Speaker. And that is what United Workers' Party is bringing onto the people of this country, Madam Speaker. And, Madam Speaker, and if you think I'm wrong, find out what happened in Salisbury, Madam Speaker. Find out what happened in Salisbury, Madam Speaker, when the police were stoned, Madam Speaker, when police vehicles were vandalized and destroyed, Madam Speaker, and subsequently the member for Marigot went back to Salisbury and told the people of Salisbury that the next time the police come to Salisbury, you must stone them, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the leader of the opposition, Madam Speaker, sing it in song, Madam Speaker, sing it in song. That I can't sing like him, Madam Speaker, but cool wash bag, whatever, Madam Speaker. The leader of the opposition, Madam Speaker. And the member for Salisbury comes here and say he feels disrespected when he comes to talk and the Prime Minister listen. Who has disrespected the Parliament more than the leader of the opposition, Madam Speaker? When his people, Madam Speaker, were out there with stone brigade ready to stone the same Parliament, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you ask for electoral reform. The Minister of Foreign Affairs had told you that you can only get electoral reform by an amendment to the legislation in the Parliament, Madam Speaker. And you bring your thugs and your goons there, Madam Speaker. Bags of stone, Madam Speaker, bags of stone, waiting for darkness to come, Madam Speaker, to stone the Parliament, Madam Speaker. Are you talking about respect, respect in the Parliament, Madam Speaker? No, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we have to be careful. We have to be careful, Madam Speaker, because whatever you sow, so shall you reap, Madam Speaker. And if you reap violence and disrespect, you will, if you sow violence and disrespect, you will reap violence and disrespect, Madam Speaker. And the leader of the opposition is old enough to understand that, Madam Speaker. When you're small, because what is confronting him now is the fact, Madam Speaker, of his violent nature in school, Madam Speaker, in form. That is what is now coming to haunt him, Madam Speaker, in his adult age, past 60 years, Madam Speaker. That is the problem, Madam Speaker, that the leader of the opposition, he cannot contain himself, Madam Speaker. That is the problem, Madam Speaker, that we have in this country with this opposition, Madam Speaker. And that is why the member for Roseau Central is now taking his foot and putting his foot down, Madam Speaker, to show who is man in the opposition, Madam Speaker. And that is why, and I agree with you, my brother, although we don't like it, because as long as Lennox Linton, the member for Marigot, remains the leader of the opposition, he's smooth sailing for the Dominican Labour Party. So we don't like what you're doing, but for the sake of Dominica, I agree with what you're doing, Madam Speaker. Let's get some true and real leadership in this country, if you can do it, Madam Speaker. But the quicker you guys get rid of Lennox Linton, member for Marigot, as leader of the UWP, is the better for you and the 6 seats you have there. Because we're coming for the rest, Madam Speaker. So why enjoy it while it lasts? Be leader of 6, Madam Speaker, because next time around you might just be leader of 2, Madam Speaker, because we're taking some. We're taking some, Madam Speaker. And we're not taking that through brag, Madam Speaker. We're taking that because of our performance in the economy, Madam Speaker, and because of the support that we're giving to disenfranchised people, because of the support and the comfort that we're giving to poor Dominican people and the middle-class people, Madam Speaker. That is where we will deal with it, Madam Speaker. We will deal with it on our performance in government, what we have done for the economy, and what we'll continue to do for the poor people of this country. Madam Speaker, on the issue of housing, Mr. Hall. Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, the member for the senator from Castle Bruce came here making a whole waily about the government and our housing policy. Waily. Crying, Madam Speaker. About our housing policy, Madam Speaker, and our housing program. And we're not giving private people an opportunity to participate, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we have always said that we're willing to accommodate the private sector if they're ready to come, Madam Speaker, and we will make the lands available, we will talk, and we'll deal with the housing matter, Madam Speaker. Some of them have come forward, Madam Speaker. The problem we have is the people who really require the housing, they cannot afford to give us the housing at the price, at an affordable price for the poor people of this country. Because, Madam Speaker, we put money at the aid bank. We put $5 million at the aid bank where the private people, private contractors and so on, go and secure a loan and build your house. We put money at the Government Housing Loans Board, Madam Speaker, where public officers could go and secure their mortgage and take their loans and build their house, Madam Speaker. But let's understand, Madam Speaker, the housing revolution is multifaceted, Madam Speaker. Yeah. And there is room for everybody to play, Madam Speaker. And that is why we believe we have come of age, we have come to a stage where we can now provide housing, Madam Speaker, for the middle class. And it's spelled out in this budget, Madam Speaker, where we'll partner with the Social Security and seek to provide housing for the middle class, Madam Speaker. A man's going to come back with his fancy. And Madam Speaker, I will read you the policy, you know, Madam Speaker. In 1999, Madam Speaker, when the member for the senator from Castle Bruce, Senator Baptist, was a consultant on housing to United Workers' Party government. And that is here what he tells the UWP to put in the budget, Madam Speaker. During the last financial year, the government undertook a housing project to construct 35 units in Bath Estate. This has been completed. A new housing project underway in Yampis to construct 43 housing units. Madam Speaker, if you go there, you wouldn't see the 43 because it's steel building, so half disappear already, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I talk about Marigot, housing Marigot, Madam Speaker. Not one that there, Madam Speaker. Payon, not one house that there in Marigot, Madam Speaker. Layu, Point Michel, Charlotte Valley, 45 units, St. Joseph, Newton, Portsmouth, all over the country, Madam Speaker, that Isaac Baptist was advising, Senator Baptist was advising the United Workers' Party on the housing program, on the housing policy. And again, they come back with this nonsense about this duty-free. Madam Speaker, the United Workers' Party had duty-free in 1999, Madam Speaker, on housing. Yet still, Madam Speaker, they left us with a debt of $9 million, Madam Speaker, to the LPO for housing, Madam Speaker. 9 million, where was the thing? 9 million, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, and then another 50 million, Madam Speaker. Now, Madam Speaker, if this duty-free thing was working, why would you, on top of the duty-free, incur debt of over 60 million for the same housing, Madam Speaker? The point is, Madam Speaker, the duty-free didn't capture the people that it was supposed to capture, Madam Speaker. Because to get duty-free, Madam Speaker, you have to buy. You have to buy it and get your duty-free. But if you cannot buy, then you cannot benefit from duty-free. And the persons requiring the housing could not take no mortgage, couldn't take no loan, so they could not afford to get any duty-free, Madam Speaker. So the duty-free of the United Workers' Party, the member for Roseau Central, it was ill-targeted, ill-timed, ill-advised, Madam Speaker, because that is why it was proven to be a total failure, Madam Speaker. A total failure, Madam Speaker. That is why this government, we met over 5,000 homes that were in need of repairs in this country. A report that your government study that they did. We met that study there, Madam Speaker, and we were short on the housing stock by 10,000 homes with your duty-free in 1999. And this government, through new policy and strategy, have reduced that 5,000 homes to maybe about 500, Madam Speaker, because we've done over 4,500 of those homes have been repaired by the Dominican Labour Party, Madam Speaker. And we have reduced on the housing, Madam Speaker, from 10,000 to maybe about 7,000 now, because we have constructed over 3,000 homes, Madam Speaker, brand new homes in Saint-Sauveur, Madam Speaker, in Hillsborough Gardens, Madam Speaker, in Belleville Chopin, Madam Speaker, in Chance, in Portsmouth, Madam Speaker, in Castle Bruce, Madam Speaker, in Roseau North, Madam Speaker, in the Valley, Madam Speaker, in Saint-Anne Grande, Madam Speaker, brand new homes, Madam Speaker, half of which, all of which have been given to the persons free of charge who really need housing, Madam Speaker. That is our housing record, Madam Speaker. And had we left that for the private sector, these people would never be able to own a house because they would not be able to afford it, Madam Speaker. And we have a responsibility to support, Madam Speaker, the less fortunate in our midst and our communities. Madam Speaker, Silver Lake, Madam Speaker. Have you passed Silver Lake and see that bright orange paint? Not you. I'm talking about you.
You have 3 minutes left.
Yeah, give me.
Madam Speaker, I move that the Honourable Minister for Housing be given an additional 10 minutes to complete his contribution to the budget.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I will take 5 to 1.
Second is-
Okay. Madam Speaker.
Take it easy.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Madam Speaker. Very quickly, State. We have seen the apartment buildings in Emsall, and we've seen the transformation, Madam Speaker, that's taking place in Silver Lake. If you go to Silver Lake now, you will not recognize how the same Silver Lake you knew 5 years ago, Madam Speaker. Because of our housing policy, we have not only transformed the lives of the people of Silver Lake, but we have also transformed the environment, Madam Speaker, and given people a new lease of life, a new perspective, Madam Speaker. Now they have hope, Madam Speaker. In fact, I understood, Madam Speaker, that this year was the first time they got somebody going to college, Madam Speaker. Huh? First college graduate, Madam Speaker. You spent 3 years in college. We've been working on Silver Lake for the last 5 years, so it's we that do it. It's we that do it, Madam Speaker. It's Dominica Labour Party that do it, Madam Speaker. Give the young girl the confidence, Madam Speaker, the confidence that she could go out there. She have a lovely home. She have a washroom, Madam Speaker, a washroom heavily criticized by the United Workers' Party. She can now sit down and study and did well, Madam Speaker, and graduate from college. That is what the government has been doing for the poor people of this country, all across the country, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, housing, Madam Speaker, we're not going to talk about what's happening in Bellevue. In Bellevue Chopin, Madam Speaker. The member of Parliament has dealt with that, Madam Speaker. The residents of Jubic, Madam Speaker, have dealt with that. Washrooms, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we spent over 15 million. My ministry alone has spent 9 million on washrooms. Plus, under constituency empowerment, we spent another 5 million, Madam Speaker. And that program will continue, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, our record on housing in this country cannot be touched, Madam Speaker. It cannot be compared, Madam Speaker, with no other government, Madam Speaker. A comprehensive housing policy that deals with the provision of land, that deals with housing, that deals with service lots, that deals with squatter regularization, that deals with a special program for the Carib territory, Madam Speaker, and that deals with the sanitation, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, just to say a few things about the constituency, Madam Speaker, as we speak, and Madam Speaker, I made the point. That is the first time in the history of this country that you didn't know when a budget ended, when a financial year ended, and when a new one started. Yeah. Because work has never stopped in the country, Madam Speaker. Work never stopped in the country, all across the country, including my constituency, Madam Speaker. Remember any days when you had to send public works workers home towards the end of the financial year and bring them back in the new financial year. Everybody working, Madam Speaker. Projects going on, Madam Speaker. That is the power of the Dominica Labour Party, Madam Speaker. In the Cottage constituency, Madam Speaker, the National Employment Program, they criticize it, but you made the point about 2 or 3 university graduates that will be roped in under that program, Madam Speaker. And the intention there is to go out there, perform, and the company will absorb you, Madam Speaker, at a university graduate salary. That is what you get in, Madam Speaker. You're not underpaid, Madam Speaker. Whether you're in the bank, whether you're in the credit union, Madam Speaker, that is what it is, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the NEP, Madam Speaker, the Yes We Care, the construction of the roads, playing fields, Madam Speaker, housing, Madam Speaker, everything I'm telling you about is now taking place right now, Madam Speaker, in the Cottage constituency. And Madam Speaker, it's of no surprise to the residents of Cottage. They've elected me 3 or 4 times. And there's a rumor going around that I'm not running again, Madam Speaker. Well, they tell me they fan. Thank God, they fan. Thank God, they fan. Don't even think about it, Madam Speaker, you're not running again, Madam Speaker. They said, don't even think about you not running again, Madam Speaker, because they have placed their trust and their confidence in me and the Dominica Labour Party, Madam Speaker. Because we have taken them, Madam Speaker. You used to go to Tukari before, going down that hill there, Madam Speaker, precipice on your left, precipice on your right. People are afraid to come to Tukari. And I know you just go there, Madam Speaker. I know you go in there. Things are happening down there. What they find me now? Never, Madam Speaker, never. And Madam Speaker, you see the transformation taking place in Tukari. Beautiful place, Madam Speaker. Restaurants and bars and tourism kicking, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, keep it real. And I must compliment, Madam Speaker, the young man, Derek Augustine, Madam Speaker, for having that place there. Madam Speaker, the traffic, I don't know what, I have to talk to the PM about that. Because on Sundays, you can pass in Tukari, Madam Speaker. Tukari just like Mero now, Madam Speaker. Sundays, people come down to Tukari and clean water and eat their lobster like everywhere else, like Sunset Bay, Madam Speaker. That's what's happening in Tukari right now. Good food, Madam Speaker. Good food, Madam Speaker. Good food, Madam Speaker. You can attest to that, Madam Speaker. And the beachfront, Madam Speaker, the other place just on this side there. You've been there, Cassius? Yes, I'm the member for Caritas come then bathe, Madam Speaker. That's where I got to. come and live in the city. Yes, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, and that is how we're transforming, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, and that is outside of the feast, Madam Speaker. Outside of the feast, you see Blackmore trying to follow me with my feast, Madam, but he can't touch me. Because the environment is different. Remember from my home, Madam Speaker. The minister from my home, Madam Speaker. He can't touch my feast. Oh, the Minister of Social Justice. National Security, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, the works of the Dominican Labour Party is there to be seen. And naturally, so the works of the Labour Party is there to be seen, Madam Speaker. And I really don't have to come to the Parliament and to tell everybody what's going on in the Cottage constituency. It's very clear, Madam Speaker. And Cottage and the Kapinski Hotel, Madam Speaker, is going up. And I'm worried, a little worried, Madam Speaker, that that hotel will be completed and we may not be ready for it, Madam Speaker. At the rate that hotel is going, Madam Speaker, we have to put the systems in place to make the hotel work, Madam Speaker, because you have to make it work. And that's why, Madam Speaker, I'm not reviewing my list under small business, Madam Speaker. We have held our meetings, 120 persons have applied, Madam Speaker. 57 of them, the applications are complete and together and in order, Madam Speaker. The others are missing invoice, missing something. And we have to review it, Madam Speaker, to see exactly what is the small business that they want to get involved in. Because we have to get involved in a small business that will be compatible to what is taking place, Madam Speaker, in that part of the constituency, Madam Speaker. And you can take it as far as Silver Beach, you have the Moroccan Hotel, you have the National Trail, Madam Speaker, up to Capuchin, Madam Speaker. And we have to review those, and we have to advise people, Madam Speaker, what is it that we believe that we can support you so that you can support the hotel, Madam Speaker. Of course, you have existing businesses that need a little top-up and so on. You have the grocery shops and so on, Madam Speaker. You have the bars and so on that need some help. We can do that too, Madam Speaker. But we are confident, Madam Speaker, that with the development plan of this country, with the use of the resources, Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, and they have it done as if the CBI fund, you just go out and come back with CBI. It's hard work, you know, Madam Speaker. It's hard work, Madam Speaker, to raise the money, to give people the confidence that you can come and invest your money in Dominica, Madam Speaker. And even after what the leader of the opposition tried to black-eye the face of Dominica, Madam Speaker, we have not relented. Our Prime Minister had to go back, Madam Speaker, to the Middle East 2 or 3 times to convince the investors that don't worry, this mad fella, Madam Speaker. Things are all right in Dominica. Don't worry, the member for Marigot.
No, you have to
I withdraw the mad fella. Let's take that back, Madam Speaker. But we have to go out there, Madam Speaker. Because it's not to say, Madam Speaker, people there waiting for it. They don't know what to do with the money they have. And they're waiting for it to come, Madam Speaker. It doesn't work that way. You have to go out and promote the program, Madam Speaker. And you saw in the budget the amount of money that we spend on promotion. And it's paying off, Madam Speaker. And I have no problem in giving up 5 million to make 25 million, Madam Speaker. I have no difficulty with that, Madam Speaker. No difficulty whatsoever that you have to pay for the promotion, and it's working. And they say it's not sustainable, but it may not be sustainable. And what we're doing, Madam Speaker, with all the measures that we put in place, with the money for the manufacturers, with the money for the tourism sector, Madam Speaker, with the money for agriculture, we're hoping that we can transition, when the time comes, out of the CBI revenues into sustainable revenue, Madam Speaker. And, Madam Speaker, it goes both on the social front and on the economic front, Madam Speaker, because we have a responsibility to transform lives and to change the life of our people, Madam Speaker, and to give Dominicans the pride that there is hope, Madam Speaker. There is hope, Madam Speaker, because in this budget, we can see hope, Madam Speaker. We used to talk about hope. But hope is here, Madam Speaker. The hope is right here in this budget that we're debating, Madam Speaker. What we have to do is to make best use of the hope, to take advantage of the hope, Madam Speaker, and give people the confidence, Madam Speaker. We have to maintain a safe and secure country, Madam Speaker. People have to be able to come to our country, and this stone throwing every day, Madam Speaker, this burning of the streets, Madam Speaker, this burning of the city, it has to stop, Madam Speaker. It has to stop, Madam Speaker. And if the members of the opposition have anything to do with it, I tell them today that they have to stop it, Madam Speaker. Because it's not going anywhere. It's not taking us anywhere. Find another way to fight with the government, Madam Speaker. Because everything that they level against us have been proven to be untrue and incorrect. And men paying, Madam Speaker, for the wrong things and the bad things they say about this country and about this government, Madam Speaker. We have to stop it. We have to be a little more patriotic, Madam Speaker, and let the opposition find other ways of trying to get rid of this government, but trying to destroy the country, trying to burn down the country to get to where you want to go. It's not going to happen, Madam Speaker, because the people of Dominica, they have tested the government, Madam Speaker. They know what the government is capable of. They knew where we came from in 2000, and they know the slow grind, Madam Speaker, that we had to take to get us to where we are now, Madam Speaker. And the people of Dominica are not going back, Madam Speaker. We're not going back to where we were, Madam Speaker. And the policy of the United Workers' Party yesterday is the same policy that they have today, Madam Speaker. And that policy has been defeated, Madam Speaker, and that policy will never be replayed in our beautiful country, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, may God continue to bless our country. Give us the strength, Madam Speaker, and the energy as a Dominican Labour Party to continue to push the development agenda of the government. Madam Speaker, in closing, Madam Speaker, I need to thank all those who have walked this journey with us, Madam Speaker, in the Ministry of Finance, at the ministerial level, my PS, my housing manager, the staff of all the ministries, Madam Speaker, because those that are diligent have really played their part and put the energy, Madam Speaker, in making it happen, Madam Speaker. And I am sure that they too have children that will benefit from it. So this is not for us we're doing this, Madam Speaker. We're doing this for the next generation, Madam Speaker. We are entrusted with this country to prepare it and to leave it in a stable position for the next generation. And for all those, Madam Speaker, our families, our constituents who have assisted us along this journey, we want to continue to wish them Godspeed, God's blessing, Madam Speaker, and that we continue on our development for us to ensure that when we leave, we can look back and say, I was part of that renaissance. I was part of that project, Madam Speaker. I was part of the process. We may not be rich, we may not have plenty of money, but the pride, Madam Speaker, the pride of knowing that this is the work of our hands, this is the work of our mouth, and this is the work of our head. Thank you, Madam Speaker.